But any questions?
I do. Well, there's something I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if this will make it in the podcast. Like specifically, Dad used to not rent to unmarried couples, right? For, for biblical reasons.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Well, Dad and I had many, many conversations about this because I don't see eye to eye with him on this. Now, his point of view, and I get where he's coming from, he views all of his assets as belonging to the Lord, and he's a steward of that. So it would logically follow for him to say, if I'm going to honor the Lord in managing these apartments, I'm going to choose not to rent them to people who are living outside of God's design of marriage. Yeah. He even would take that opportunity when he would decide not to lease to someone to share with them why. He'd even share the gospel with them sometimes, right? To help them understand why he's making that decision. And we came to different conclusions on that topic. I wanted the opportunity to serve people, put a roof over their head, and have the opportunity to influence them. He wanted to make sure that he managed God's resources the way he felt he was called to do. I can't really argue with that.
There are verses that say, don't pass judgment, right? You are not the judge. It seems like that would be a version of passing judgment on somebody's sin, a specific sin. And of course, Jesus loved sinners and spent time with them. I feel like Jesus would have rented to them because it seems like a form of passing judgment.
We're actually called to judge each other.
Yeah, I'd say more.
So 20 years ago, what was the most quoted verse?
John 3:16.
Totally. Yeah. You know what it is now? It's Matthew 7:1. Do not judge, lest you be judged. That is now the most quoted verse. Context is the key here.
Yeah.
Who's Jesus actually talking to in the Sermon on the Mount? Who's there in the audience?
A bunch of people.
In a lot of ways, he's talking to the Pharisees.
Oh, yeah.
Who were all about outward behavior.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing about heart level anything.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So when Jesus says, do not judge lest you be judged, for in the way you judge, you will be judged, and by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you. He's really talking to the Pharisees, and he's sticking it to them. And so taken out of context, you read that and you're saying, see, I can do whatever I want. You can't judge me. Do not judge lest you be judged. Well, Paul, in his writing to the churches, is giving them instruction on how to judge. And what the church is called to do is to judge each other, to hold each other accountable to righteousness.
But that's in the context of the church, right? Your fellow believers.
Yeah. So when I say we're actually called to judge each other, I am talking in the context of the church.
Yeah.
It's actually the Holy Spirit's job to convict the world of sin, righteousness, and judgment.
If I was in that position and I go, and Dad says, I'm not renting to you for this reason, and here's why, that'd just be a huge turnoff to Christianity. I would feel discriminated against. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, totally. Because in a lot of ways, I agree with you. However, you never water down the truth so that people aren't offended or turned off.
Sure.
Truth is truth.
Sure, yeah.
Oftentimes, truth is offensive.
Yeah.
And truth is really offensive to somebody who's living contrary to truth.
Right.
So, I would never suggest that a follower of Jesus water down the truth a little bit. Let's make sure we don't offend people so that we can love on them that's a mistake,
right.
In my opinion.
I agree with you. Yeah.
But to be able to communicate the truth with gentleness and respect and a lot of tact in a way that says, look, I understand this is going to be hard to hear.
Yeah.
Right. But here's what I believe the truth is. And, here's how I think it's going to play out. And I'd plead with you to reconsider your position or behave differently or something
right.
Just try to do it with a lot of humility and respect.
Which I'm sure Dad did. I'm sure Dad was gentle with these people when he let them down or whatever. But
I really wasn't talking there in the context of Dad in that situation.
I believe that it would hurt his witness more than anything. But yeah, he just sees it differently, I guess.
And the nature of a presupposition, a closely held foundational belief, those are your anchor points and they're almost impossible to move somebody else's anchor points. In this case, that has a closely foundational belief. It's led him to do business in a certain way. And there's not a logical reasoning that will allow you to convince him to move that anchor. Everybody's that way about their presuppositions.
Yeah.
There's this great story. This guy believed he was dead. You heard me tell this story before?
No.
He believed he was dead, and he's seeing a therapist, and whatever the therapist does, she can't make this guy understand that he's not dead. He was there physically. He was talking to this woman, having a conversation, and totally believed he was dead. Okay?
Yeah.
So she thought, ask him a question. Do you believe dead people bleed? He's like, no, we don't bleed. Dead people don't bleed. So she took a little pin and she poked his finger and he started bleeding. Case closed.
Yeah.
Right? He goes, we do bleed.
Right.
It's kind of a joke, but the illustration is you generally order your world around your closely held beliefs, those foundational, those presuppositions.
Right.
And that's kind of an example of that. And so it doesn't, you can't talk somebody out of that. Like if you put me and an atheist in the same room, I don't know that I can convince them with words or logic or my knowledge of the Bible or anything like that. I'll try to speak truth to them, you know, because I believe there's power in that, but I don't think there's anything that I can do. What I do think is possible is for that person to see me live my life in such a way where they're like, I got questions.
Yeah.
They start asking me questions, and I'm prepared to give them an answer for the hope that I have. That can work. I firmly believe in that scenario, they have to see me go through hell with hope, or they are going to have so much success and find out that it's empty. They believed everything was leading to this place. I'm going to have this amount of success, and I'm going to be fulfilled. I'm going to have satisfaction, and they find out that they don't.
Yeah.
Then they have questions, and they might want to talk to me. Or if they see me go through a situation where they just think, man, if I were going through that, it wouldn't look like this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I've got questions.
Yeah.
I want to live my life in such a way where people have questions. And I screw up at that all the time. That's how I think that works, is something in your life happens to shake those foundational beliefs. And I don't believe that I have words that can do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's fascinating to me. Because I know a lot of atheists that are happy and fulfilled in their life. They're not searching for that type of fulfillment, right?
Yeah, and I didn't mean to intimate that.
I was just, it just made me think that. I don't think you were.
Yep.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people that are trying to, if I just get to this point, I'll be happy, right? That is sad. Very sad, because everything leaves you unfulfilled if you think it's something that you're trying to get to. And for me, it's like learning to enjoy and be grateful for what you have and enjoy the journey. It's not a destination you're getting to, because it's each day, it's the pursuit of a destination or a pursuit of a goal or something. Being so grateful for the present and understanding this is all we actually have right now. Right? We don't have what just happened. We don't have what's going to happen. We just have right now in this moment.
And I'm actually pretty bad at that. Because I'm generally always, in my mind, I'm in the future somewhere trying to figure something out. And I struggle with the present.
I think most people do.
Well, I certainly do.
Yeah.
So I would, back to the original premise here is you'd like to hear more about faith in business. Yeah. Like, this is what I would just, in a nutshell, say, if you start from a place that God owns it all and you understand 4 freedoms that can come from having freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom of relationship, freedom of purpose, and you want to build a business that is a triple bottom line business where there's economic capital and there's social capital and there's spiritual capital, that you're on purpose and intentionally trying to invest for the good of people and the glory of God, then the way it probably looks is there's going to be a lot of integrity. You're going to do work in an excellent way. You'll be generous and philanthropic. You'll live out your faith visibly through your character and your kindness, not necessarily through your words all the time.
Yeah.
There's going to be accountability. Like you're going to hold people accountable to doing excellent work, which can be very hard. And that you're going to try to put people in positions of their strengths for their benefit and the company's benefit, and ultimately for the benefit of the people that you serve.
Yeah.
And I am probably leaving a lot of stuff out, but that's what I think. Yeah, faith in business looks like.
Yeah, and that's something that I just so admired, or always have admired, but I had a more appreciation for it when we were talking to Dad, of just like all the things he's accomplished. To him, it's like nothing.
Well, he called it wood, hay, and stubble.
Or wood, hay, and stubble. A box of wood, hay, and stubble that has all the trophies. Well, I got one back here. Did I? You don't know what this trophy is? It's a 2002 Kentucky Country Day Invitational. This is a trophy I got for solo acting. 6th place.
Sixth place. Well done.
Oh my gosh. Like when I saw that.
How many people were?
I have no clue. I went to so many of these, right? And I've got a ton of trophies.
More than 6?
I don't think there would have been more than 6.
I'm just wondering if that was last place.
Oh, it very well could have been. I think this is my first year on the speech team.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Okay, yeah. If you like that, you can watch another clip right here. If you want to watch the full episode, right here.
Do it.